Hi there. So I just wanted to address this thing about twin flames and trauma bonding. When you meet your twin flame in the physical, it possibly will be, or probably will be, likely will be, a trauma bonded situation. But the twin flame itself is not a trauma bond. Like I've seen several people talking about this and making it out that people that are on this twin flame ascension path are somewhat more wounded than what they are. Like, sure, I think we all start sort of pursuing this journey or talking about it or pursuing the person from somewhat of a wounded place. However, the point in the journey is to heal that trauma bond, is to restore the original healthy soul bond. Your twin flame is your like authentic divine partnership, both within yourself, like your sacred union with source, or like your inner marriage of your mother and father's energies within you, and then the sort of the counterpart to that, who is a match to that in physical form. So yeah, it really grinds my gears when people talk about make the whole thing out to be a trauma bond. And it's like, no, like the point is you're in a trauma bond with source and or with a version of their body, like a physical vessel that you've connected with, or someone in your lineage has connected with. And the point in the journey is to unravel that and to restore it to its original form. It's not about getting more into trauma, and I think that's what I hear, or like the perspective or the angle that I hear some people talking from, and it's like, no, sure some people are or do begin on this journey, and even myself included, in a very codependent place and trying to be with them over there rather than really understanding what the point of this journey is and stuff. But yeah. And what else was I going to say? I think this is why it's important to, or why it's important to trust in divine timing as well, because likely you probably are, or you probably have connected with the right soul or the right person, especially if you're tuned in and you're connected to self, and on a soul level when you meet your counterpart that it's them. Like it's that's another video, but there's like, I think a lot of people are connecting with the right person per se, but they're trying to connect externally and be in some form of partnership with this person when they're not connected internally to either at all, or they're not connected to that frequency or that form of the connection, because in some ways we're never not connected to our own soul. Do you know what I mean? So we're always connected to the twin flame to some extent, but I think for many that connection has become quite distorted and quite wounded from each individual's personal experience, but then also from like societal influences, family influences, distortions that have been picked up as they've gone through their life. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's about healing that like, it's about trusting that you've possibly probably pointed out or connected with the right person, but you've got to go on the inward journey so as not to create a trauma bond in the physical, or to unravel the trauma bond that's already been created in the physical. I feel like that's been what my journey has been. It's been someone in my lineage, I think, connected with their twin flame physically before they'd done the inner work, before they had aligned with that level of partnership, or that level, or that form of their counterpart. So like they were in, I don't know if it was the man or the woman who did this, but it's like on one side they were in deep wounding and physically exchanged energy with the divine counterpart. So it's like, I need to give you a metaphor here. It's like the staircase analogy. It's like you're on the right staircase, but it's like someone has been on like the bottom step of the staircase and connected with the top step of the staircase, rather than elevating themselves up to align with the top state of the top step of the staircase, and then exchange energy with them. And that's actually, I have actually more and more gratitude for my counterpart. In fact, I've helped him with this too, because of who I connected with. But it's like that's what we both did. We both essentially married who was aligned with us in that moment, to pull the other one up or down to that, to basically connect the other one to where they should be connected with, rather than going straight for each other, because or I think actually we sort of tried to go straight to each other, but I'm only realizing this now in a way. Like there was a form of him that tried to connect with me, but I saw him as an entirely different person, because it was really traumatic to me. And that's what happens when you connect with your twin out of alignment with your inner state. It will be a version that you pull to you that you don't want to receive from. And that's what happened. It was like I pulled this like dark, distorted version to me, rather than the bright light, beautiful divine masculine that I saw over here. And it's not that he's not the right person, it's that I was aligned with this version over here, and I had to walk myself through my own trauma and distortion and my own emotional turmoil to get myself back to my original state, to be able to align with what's aligned with that, you know. But yeah, it's all about unraveling the trauma bond and returning to that divine connection. Not about, whereas I hear several coaches or people talking about this, and to me they don't get it, because they're like, oh, you know, you're just delusional, like you're in love with this married guy, or you're like attached to this whatever, you're living in a fantasy. And it's like, no, this journey is the very journey that is meant to, if you're doing it properly, it's meant to break you free from all that shit and distortion and codependency and baggage and trauma that you've been through, and return you back to that clean slate, to that soul origin point. Not get you more distorted. But yeah, it's just trust the journey, and trust that if the one that you want is not coming to you yet, it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't, or that that's the wrong person. And I don't want you to get attached to that person with me saying that either. Like, but what I'm saying is, have faith that if you're doing the work and they are your counterpart, you will see it come towards you. And that's the secret. Actually, I'll just drop a little golden nugget here for you. That he said to me years ago, he was like, go inward. And I was like, go inward? What the fuck are you talking about, go inward? I had no idea how to go inward, what that meant at the time. But now I realise that he was running from me because I was chasing him rather than chasing myself. You have to go towards yourself and go towards your highest, most authentic version of self, and sort of run towards your original state of being. And the more that you do that, the more you're going to cut ties with all these traumatic distortions of him or her, and pull the divine one to you more and more. And you're going to see it. Like, I don't know if this is true across the board, but for me, it's come in like little signs and synchronicities and things on number plates and stuff. And then now it's coming in more in like physical form. Like, it's actually quite magic. Like versions of him around me that's getting more and more towards who I expect to see. Like even down to the point of from the same place, sitting next to me, but not entirely him. Like it was him, but not him. You'll know what I mean if this starts happening for you. But yeah, the point is to heal the trauma bond. And if you're doing this journey properly, that's what it'll do. And it will free you from the constraints of all that past wounding. So yeah, I'm going to go and enjoy the peaceful, I'm sitting by a lake here, leaning against the tree, so I'm going to go and return to that. Have a nice day.